Hello and welcome to yet another edition of Sports Talk. It is Saturday, July 8th. I'm Shericka Jackson's biggest fan. Thank you so much for joining me. Sorry, I am Daniel Blake. Thank you so much for joining me. See what happens when. No, but we're going to talk about that very soon. But thank you so much for being with us on this wonderful Saturday, which we will be speaking about Thursdays and Fridays action of the J3A's National Senior Championships. And Shericka Jackson last night really stunned. She's been doing that for quite a while, but yesterday she reached a new level. So we'll talk about that very shortly and some other things and preview what's happening later today as well as Sunday. Also, the Reggae Boyz, they play on Sunday in the quarterfinals of the CONCACAF Gold Cup. They are looking for their first ever title win. But they have to get by Guatemala first. And later on, we should be joined by sports vlogger Eddie Guna to discuss that. So we have, quite a bit to get through. Now, usually, as you know, we like to do the sports bits and the monologue, but because there's so much to talk about, I don't think we might get to that. So just prepare to talk about track and field, and please feel free to interact with me on the show. 876-997-3125. That's 876-997-3125. For all the regular listeners on Love, while you were listening to Fellowship Fridays yesterday, I hope that you were watching the national championships. So you can tell me what you thought about Shericka's race. Elaine was in that race. If you're disappointed about that, or men in the 100 meters, the 400-meter hurdles, what you're expecting, because Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, she opens her season today. It's not every day that someone opens their season at a national championships. But she will do that as she looks to make the 200-meter team, because remember, she has the bye for the 100-meter after being the 100-meter champion last year. So she didn't necessarily have to run, but she does intend to do the double. And to do that, she has to qualify. So you won't see Shericka Jackson competing today and tomorrow, because she's already qualified for the 200 meters at the World Championships in August, because she is the reigning 200-meter champion. So we have a whole lot to look forward to. So 876-997-3125. You can leave your comments there. If you just want to just send your regular big ups, you can do that too. Or if you are watching on YouTube and Facebook, you can leave the comments there. And YouTube and Facebook, one of the many ways you can watch and listen to the show. So go to Love 101 FM's pages on YouTube and Facebook, and I am live there. Hello, everybody in Jamaica, Caribbean, North America, South America, Europe, Asia, Africa, Australia, or Oceania. I doubt anybody listening in Antarctica, because that might, yeah, but anywhere you are in the world, thank you so much for joining me. If you want to listen on the go, please download the Love FM app. I know that I say it week in, week out, but the stats are there. We need to get those stats up. So go in your Google Play or Apple Store, depending on your smart device. Download the app. Trust me, it's very easy. You don't have to pay for it. Nobody not trying to scam you there. So even when light gone, you can turn on your data, Love FM, and it is there. You can also go on your internet browser, love101.org, and listen to me there. Or if you don't like to do it the old-fashioned way, that's fine. Go on your radio, Love 101.1, all the way to 101.9, depending on where you are in the island. Because as you know, the FM band, sometimes it pick up better in some places than it, want to know the deal. All right, so what a Friday. Some surprising results. at the national senior and junior championships. And let me just say this very briefly. It's not really my monologue for this week, but it's just a point that I'll make. Is hmm, having pairing the national senior championships and the national junior championships isn't that great for our junior athletes. And I say that because as much as the crowd is there for the senior athletes and they'll see the junior athletes and they'll cheer them on, yes, but the spotlight isn't really on them. And I get it. If they were to have a national junior championships by itself, there would be little to nobody there, similar to what we see at character trials and stuff. It's not like champs. So it's tough because our national junior champions don't really get enough credit. And I'm just saying this now. I don't know how we can fix it because, for example, while you may know who is the senior women's 100 champion, and while you may know the senior men's 100 champion, you might not know the under 20 and the under 18 champions. And that's unfortunate. Um, and again, I'm not sure how you fix it, because you are getting eyes for them. You are getting more eyes, but it almost seems like the appetizer. Like people don't really go to a restaurant and remembers the appetizer over the entree. uh, like nobody remembers and say, "Oh, that soup was nice," or "That salad was nice," "Those spring rolls were nice." You're going to remember the ribs, the steak, the burger, the chicken, whatever you order as the entree. Um, but again, I don't know how to fix it. It was just a thought. I'm not saying that there is something necessarily wrong with it. I'm just saying that it's it's a little hard on them. And then when they go to these championships, like the Commonwealth Junior Commonwealth Games that's happening in Trinidad, the Pan American Under 20 Championships, and all these things, the spotlight won't be on them there either. So yeah, just a random thought. Just a random thought. Anyway, so let's talk about the big event that happened on Friday evening. Shericka Jackson, the reigning 100-meter national champion, ran the fifth fastest time in history. Well, she became the fifth fastest woman in history. Only the world record holder, Flojo, Elaine Thompson Hera, Shelly Ann Fraser Price, and Carmelita Jetta have gone faster. Shericka Jackson, 10.65 seconds, world leading, her personal best. And watching the race, it almost felt like she could have gone faster. Maybe that's just me. In her post race interview, she said that she's really been working on her start, and you saw it. Shericka, being a 400-meter runner, usually it's her last 50, 60 that is really quick. So, for example, remember last year at the World Championships, I know this might sound ridiculous, and I know people always say it, but if there were 10 or 20 extra meters in that 100-meter race, Shericka probably would have beat Shelly, because Shelly is just a fantastic starter. Fantastic. Once Shelly gets that super start, you aren't going to beat her. It's one of the reasons why she has been a perennial champion. And so Shericka this season has really been working on her start, and last night we really saw it. And she says that she can do better. She's going to go back and speak with her coach. And yeah, that was a fantastic race. Um, 10.65. And a lot of people were talking, for those who, on social media, because Shakari Richardson, who is now the national American 100-meter champion, she ran 10.71 in the heats at the American championships. And people were saying, look, Shakari, she is, the favorite now, because they were saying, oh, Shericka Jackson, she's not going to be able to run 10.6. Her form is looking a little off. She's been going to these meets and she hasn't looked as impressive. I think Marie Jose Talu is going to be a greater threat than Shericka Jackson. Like, sometimes people just need to stop talking. But yeah, so Shakari does that 10.71 and everybody is now was labeling her the favorite. And then Shericka said, okay, Zine. And in an interview that she did with Sidon Bowen, she actually opened her phone and showed one of her targets for the 100-meter, and she literally wrote it down on June 24. A great day, by the way. June 24 is a fantastic day. But she wrote down that she was going to run 10.6, and that's crazy. Sometimes you must write down your goals, because when you visualize it, you might actually achieve it. No, if I write down that I'm going to try and run 9.75, that's ridiculous. But sometimes you must have realistic targets. So fantastic for Shericka Jackson. I said that she would have broken the 200-meter world record last year. She didn't. But this year she may very well do so. And if she continues to improve, who knows? She might become the fastest woman alive in the 100 meters. 10.54 is the time to beat. So we will see. Yeah, so that was fantastic. And then Shashali Forbes, who has been in great form this season, finishing second in a personal best 10.96 seconds. Not a lot of people saw that coming, but for those who've been watching the all comers meets and everything, we've seen Shashali get better and better, and she now has a spot at the World Championships, and so does Natasha Morrison. 10.98 seconds. I've always said if Natasha Morrison was running for another country, she would get a lot more credit, because she just always seems to be in the thick of things. I know that we usually talk about Shelly and most recently Shericka, Elaine, but Natasha Morrison has been a great sprinter, and now she'll be able to try and get an individual medal. So we will see how that works. Brianna Williams, who has had some struggles with injuries, she finished fourth. So at this moment, she is going to be one of the alternates for the relay. But the most surprising for a lot of people, Elaine Thompson here finishing fifth. We know that Elaine has had her struggles with injuries as well and with form. She spoke about it recently. And even in the heats and the semifinals, Elaine didn't look herself, and understandably so. It's not easy recovering from certain injuries and trying to recover in a certain amount of time, especially going up against athletes who have been in great form. Obviously, there are some other factors as well, because I believe that, maybe under some different circumstances, she would have finished in the top three, but she's not. And it just goes to show how unforgiving the sport can be in terms of just 2 years ago. Elaine was dominating the 100 meters at the Olympics, the 200. And then a few weeks later, she became the fastest woman alive with that 10.54. And people were saying that in 2022, she's set to be the world record holder, and things haven't gone the way that she wanted to go. She's changed apparel sponsors, she's changed coaches. Um, she has dealt with different injuries and different things in her life. So obviously none of those things are easy. And it just shows that, you can't take anything for granted in this sport. Not saying that Elaine has taken anything for granted. That's not what I'm suggesting. I'm just saying, as a fan's perspective, you might be looking on and saying, yeah, Elaine going to be world record holder. Yeah, this and yeah, but sometimes life happens and it's not necessarily her fault. I'm sure I'm sure she didn't want to finish fifth um at the championships, obviously not. But we are hoping that when she contests the 200 later this afternoon, that she will look up a bit better. I believe that she has a greater chance of finishing in the top three here, but we will see. We have some more things to talk about, but I realize I chat way too much. This is what happens when you don't have an analyst, even though an analyst would have talked enough. And I'll explain why we don't have an analyst today. But we are going to head into a break, and we're going to talk about the men's 100 meters, because we've had some surprises there as well, and we'll tell you what's coming up today. So please stay with us here on Sports Talk, and remember that you can connect with me on 876-997-3125, or you can leave those comments on YouTube and Facebook. So stay with us right here on Sports Talk.
Do you have a lab request form to get blood work done but don't have all day to spend? AccuLab Diagnostics Limited is your answer. Open Monday to Saturday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., 8 a.m. to 12 noon on Sundays. We do routine lab tests, microbiology, allergy, and COVID testing. Fast turnaround, no long lines, clean environment with convenient parking. Shop 15, Bogue City Center, ATL Plaza, Montego Bay. 876-613-2714 or WhatsApp 876-518-9108. AccuLab Diagnostics Limited. Accuracy you can trust.
For all your eye testing and prescription glasses needs for the whole family. Get your complete glasses starting at only $14,950. Plus, free frames with the purchase of any prescription lens. Call or WhatsApp us at 876-229-4201 to book your appointment at any one of our 8 locations island-wide. And follow us at Comprehensive Eye Care on Facebook and Instagram. Comprehensive Eye Care, your vision, your style.
It's beginning to look a lot like I Love Summer is the thing to do this summer. Oh yes, we're getting ready for stop number 3 and St. Thomas Tag. You're it. The Love 101 family will be at the Rudolph Elder Park in St. Thomas, and as always, enough niceness a keep. So mama, papa, sister, and brother, let's show up for I Love Summer, the St. Thomas edition.
Roll out in your numbers to enjoy all the fun and games, and you might even win a present. Announcers are ready, right, KG and DJ?
More than ready, like Freddy. St. Thomas, make sure you come out with your game, whether you feel like Hulk or not. Right, DJ?
I am ready again, KG, and St. Thomas, we are bringing all the love in the world for you. So let's make it big for Jehovah.
DJ Rebirth is ready with the mix, and trust me, him have the right fix.
I Love Summer. Are you ready for this? I mean, are you really, really ready for this?
This Saturday, July 8th, 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. at the Rudolph Elder Park with DJ Rebirth keeping the vibes right. I love summer. Brought to you by Love 101, celebrating 30 years of music, family, and love.
It's all right. We got the freedom.
You're listening to Love 101 FM, a family station.
Welcome back to Sports Talk here on Love 101, the family station. It is 1:21, reminding you that after the 1:30 break, we'll be talking a little football because the Reggae Boyz, they play Guatemala on Sunday in the quarterfinals of the CONCACAF Gold Cup. And Eddie Guna of Eddie Vision TV will be joining us. So you want to stay around for that. Now, let's talk about the men's 100. Oh, I want to explain why we don't have track and field analyst for this section, because you always know, say, I bring experts on, right? But because a lot of them working, and I don't want to beg the favor so early, because then next time when I ask, you know, the maga said, Daniel, me give a favor the last time, and you want to ensure that it is strategic, right? Wanna know. So I promise you, when closer to, hopefully next week, we can get some of them, and closer to the World Championships time, trust me, wanna know, sir, we have it sorted out. So let's talk about the men's 100 meters, because heading into the championships, we all felt that Oblique Seville and Akeem Blake would have been the automatic choices. And then the third would be sort of a toss-up, even though Johan Blake would have been there. Johan Blake ended up false starting in the heats, which was quite incredible. He tried to beg his way back into the race. They didn't allow him. But then the day after, we found out that he was able to run under protest. He ran by himself. I believe clocked 10.3 something. I don't remember the exact time. And it was apparently recorded as an official time. Not sure what happened there. There was no real explanation given, but either way, he didn't qualify for that semifinals, and you know, he won't be part of the 100 meter team. And it's weird because despite Johan Blake not being at his best over the years, he has religiously made the teams over the years. So it's unfortunate, and this could be Johan's last World Championships, because 2021, he said the Tokyo Olympics would be his last Olympics. Next year is an Olympic year, so unless he changed his mind and he's going to compete there, or maybe he might get just tired of running, who knows? So we will see how that goes. But let's talk about that men's 100 meters, because Rowan Watson, I'm sure most of you, whether you follow track and field or not, Rowan Watson was not a name you expected to hear. He is now the national 100 meter champion from the MVP track club. What Stephen Francis and Paul Francis does over there is astounding. National champion, 9.91 seconds. Incredible. And remember, Kishane Thompson, who was stunned in those heats, he ran 9.91 as well. And people are like, who is this guy? But apparently he picked up an injury and they didn't want to risk him. So, you know, he is one to look forward to in the future. But Rowan Watson will be representing Jamaica in the 100 meters, along with Raheem Ford, who finished second in 9.96 seconds. Another surprise there for a lot of people. And then Oblique Seville finishing third, Oblique Seville finished fourth in last year's World Championships final. He finished third in 10 seconds flat. And Akeem Blake, who again we felt would make that automatic team, or would make the team automatically, pardon me, finished fourth in 10.01 seconds. Akeem Blake, who has gone, has had a great season so far, has gone as fast as 9.89 seconds, if memory serves me right, finishing fourth, which means that for him to run the individual event, either Watson, Ford, or Seville would have to pull out or get injured or something. So very, very surprising, but congratulations to Rowan Watson. No one saw that coming. And, knowing Stephen Francis, Rowan Watson might end up doing some big things at the World Championship. Still a little over a month to go. He's going to get some races now at some of the meets in Europe. So, that's going to be great. Also, yesterday, the 400-meter hurdles, Jael Hyde was the favorite in the senior final. But Rashawn Clark, fantastic at champs for Camperdown and at our World Under-20 Championships. But he is now the national champion, 47.85 seconds, a new junior record, beating Jael, who finished second. So Rashawn Clark really stepping it up, as still a junior athlete, and he can only get better. So we wait to see what he does at Budapest, or in Budapest. Great to see him. And then Janeve Russell, who, she just keeps winning these 400-meter hurdles championships, winning again, 53.75 seconds. Andrenet Knight, who, if you remember, last year had the stumble over the hurdles when she was in amazing form. This time she'll be going to the World Championships. She finished second in 53.78. And Rochelle Clayton going as well. She finished third in 53.81 seconds. So we will be looking out for that. Now, today, we have a lot to look forward to, because we still have the sprint hurdles to sort out. So that's the men's and women's sprint hurdles, the 100 and 110 meter hurdles, the 200 meters for men and women, as well as the 400 meters for men and women. So let me just give you an idea of what's going to be happening later today. So the main events at 3, let me just get this properly for you. So at 3, we will have the under 18 and under 20 400 meters. So that starts. And then later on in the afternoon, we will see the prelims of the 200 meters. So at 6 p.m., that's when the senior woman will be running, including Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce. So she will open her season at around 6 p.m. And then the men, they will be running the semis of the 200 meters. So look out for that. And then starting at 7:40 will be the 100-meter hurdles prelims. And then shortly after that will be the 110-meter hurdles, and then later on we will have the men's and women's 400-meter dash, and then on Sunday will be all those finals. So you have a lot to look forward to. Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, Elaine Thompson, Hira, the Clayton twins, who looked pretty decent going up against the senior athletes. Hansa Parchment, Rashid Broadbell. Unfortunately, no Omar McLeod. We haven't heard any official reason as to why he didn't enter, but he's had a rough couple of years. So we will see what happens with him. And we have so many stars to look forward to, Shericka Hill among others. Let me read Carolyn's comment before we head to a break. Carolyn sending me a picture of Shericka. No, I'm very jealous, Carolyn. How you always get them picture? Carolyn on our WhatsApp line. Uh, that's a fantastic picture. She's also saying, I'm loving it for Shashali. Great work from Coach Maurice Wilson. Hope that they still carry Shericka, even if it's for the experience. Elaine, light a candle, sing a song, and return to MVP. We'll see. To me, it looked like Akeem got left in the blocks. We in the stands were shocked. And saying the 400 hurdles women were among the best races last night. So feel free to continue leaving those comments here. National championships just truly amazing. Okay, so we're going to head into another break, and when we come back, we will be talking football because another set of Jamaicans, the Reggae Boyz, they'll be looking to grab some titles as well. Well, a title, I should say, as they try to get to the final of the Gold Cup. But first, they have to get by Guatemala. Eddie Goon of Eddie Vision TV will be joining me after the break to discuss that. So stay with us right here on the Family Station Love 101. This is Sports Talk.
Get more room to plant your roots. Get more space to house your youth. More to build, buy and improve. More of your dreams coming true. NHD, raise the load limit. Anything you need, you have more to build it. For real? How will you say? Now you get 7.5 million per person. 15 million with a companion. 21 million with your two family them. Call NHD so you can get more to build, buy and improve. More of your dreams coming true.
NHD, giving you more.
Need a qualified counseling psychologist to help you navigate life and challenges? Call Andre Allen Casey with over 10 years of experience in resolving relational issues, therapeutic interventions for couples, families, and individuals. Andre Allen Casey, licensed associate counseling psychologist with offices at 20 West Kings House Road, Kingston 10. Open Mondays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Telephone or WhatsApp 876-360-6594. Or email AndreAllen_Casey at yahoo.com. Andre Allen Casey, counseling with a difference. It's beginning to look a lot like I Love Summer is the thing to do this summer. Oh yes, we're getting ready for stop number 3 and St. Thomas Tag. You're it. The Love 101 family will be at the Rudolph Elder Park in St. Thomas. And as always, enough niceness a keep. So mama, papa, sister, and brother, let's show up for I Love Summer, the St. Thomas edition.
Roll out in your numbers to enjoy all the fun and games. And you might even win a present. Announcers are ready, right, KG and DJ?
More than ready like Freddy. St. Thomas, make sure you come out to the game, whether you feel like Hulk or not. Right, DJ?
I am ready again, KG, and St. Thomas, we are bringing all the love in the world for you. So let's make it big for Jehovah.
DJ Rebirth is ready with the mix, and trust me, him have the right fix.
I Love Summer. Are you ready for this? I mean, are you really ready for this?
This Saturday, July 8, 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. at the Rudolph Elder Park with DJ Rebirth keeping the vibes right. I Love Summer. Brought to you by Love 101, celebrating 30 years of music, family, and love.
It's all right. We got the freedom.
101.1, 101.3, 101.5, 101.7, 101.9. Love is all you need.
Welcome back to Sports Talk here on Love 101. So we spoke about Jamaica in terms of track and field earlier. The national senior and junior championships happening until Sunday. We've already seen some spectacular performances, and we are expecting or hoping, I shouldn't say expecting, because well, we do expect some spectacular performances, but that don't mean to them come. But we're hoping for some of that from our Reggae Boys, because they are in the quarterfinals of the CONCACAF Gold Cup, and they play Guatemala on Sunday at 4:06 as they look to qualify, um, as they look to progress to the semifinals and hopefully for the final, where they will try to win their first ever Gold Cup title. To talk about their performances so far and to preview that game, we are joined by Eddie Goon of Eddie Vision TV. Eddie, good afternoon.
Afternoon, Daniel. How are you doing?
I'm great and hope you are too. The Reggae Boys so far, let's start with some of their group stage performances. That they did finish runner up to the USA unbeaten. USA with that better goal difference because they certainly hammered Trinidad and St. Kitts. But when you look on some of our performances, against Trinidad, St. Kitts, and even that first game against the US, what was or what were your main takeaways from those games?
I mean, going into the US game, things were down. We haven't performed well over the past two games leading up to the World Cup against Qatar and Jordan. So we were expecting a better performance, having bringing in our better players, and it wasn't a surprise. The team gelled well enough in the second game against Trinidad and Tobago. We saw the likes of Demari Gray coming into the team, scoring goals, Leon Bailey stepping up his game as well. But, overall, I think the team did extremely well based on the circumstances. The fact that it's a new team coming together and, going up in playing in tournament football is never easy. So we've done well. We've done well, Daniel.
I want to mention one of those players who you just spoke about, Demari Gray, who a lot of Jamaicans were excited about to come into the program. I know that he hasn't had, a consistent level of performances while playing for Everton, even when he was at Leverkusen and Leicester City. But a lot of us felt that he could make a huge difference. Seeing him in those first three games, how impressed have you been and about just his overall performance and how quickly he has settled compared to players who we've brought in the past?
I mean, it has been a easy transition for Demari Gray into this team. It seems as if he was with the Reggae Boys for 5, 6 years now, Daniel. Easy transition. He came, hit the ground running, and for me, it doesn't even look as if he's in second gear. He's still stuck in first gear. Tremendous talent. His talent is showing with every touch of the ball, Daniel. And you know what they say, cream rises, and he definitely has made a huge impact on this Reggae Boys team, and he's one of Jamaica's best imports.
Yeah, even though it's just three games, he's definitely looked like an amazing player so far. Leon Bailey has been a bit mixed, especially after that USA game. Yes, every player misses penalties, so I won't be those guys who will criticize him for that. But sometimes, like I mentioned on my social media page, sometimes he looks like he's overthinking a bit because he feels that pressure on his shoulders, I should say, because he have two shoulders. But when you look at how he performed following that USA game against Trinidad and St. Kitts, were you more pleased with some of his decision making?
Definitely. He had a bad game, I must say, in the USA game. And I share some of your sentiments. Persons look at Leon Bailey to be that poster boy for Jamaica. So he is due a performance. Didn't play well. So I'm not surprised, under such pressure for that second game against Trinidad. he delivered. And he said in his interview that he's used to pressure, he's a professional, and that showed on the pitch, Daniel.
Yeah. So far, I think that we have looked okay defensively. We have conceded 2 goals in that USA game and also in that Trinidad game. But even without Ethan Pinnock, who has had his family issues, and we're still hoping and praying that everything works out well there, we have seen to find a decent backline, especially with Lembekisa, who I'm a huge fan of, and I said it on your vlog recently. How impressed have you been with our backline so far in terms of just dealing with some of the pressure that they've been under and comparing it to what we have seen in the past of our defense?
I mean, I must add this caveat: we haven't played some of the best teams. If you look at the quality in the Trinidad and what's the other team we played again, Daniel?
St. Kitts.
St. Kitts and Nevis. The quality has not been top notch. But however, we have this defense a good while now, Daniel. We the likes of Damian Lowe, Mariappa, young Javian Brown, the addition of Lembakisa. We've been playing games, we played with this back four during the Nation League previously. So we have time together gelling. So we're seeing that nucleus come together with the help of Coach Algrimson, and he's a major part of that. So that's why you're seeing the difference between this back four and the previous back four under other regimes. Coach Algrimson is a man that likes to defend. He believes in defense first and then going forward. Building a strong backline. He's out for protection, and we've seen this. It's still a young team. We're still gelling, but the future looks bright, especially for the defense.
Yeah. Just before we head into our break, I want to talk about Michail Antonio, who previously some people have said that he doesn't seem committed to the cause. Not sure why someone would say that. But every time he plays, even though he hasn't scored so far, every time he's been involved, we seemed threatening. Do you think that, there should be a more direct approach in terms of getting Antonio involved instead of trying to let him fight off scraps, which he's done a lot at West Ham? Or do you think that we continue the way we have and hope that he gets involved and probably scores 1 or 2?
I mean, that's the way our Antonio plays, and in this system we're not really forward centered. It's all about the front 3 or 4. A lot of rotation, and he's a very unselfish bunch of players. So especially Antonio, he has no worries as it relates to passing on the ball, getting others involved. But his time will come, Daniel, and I believe he has passed up a lot of opportunities. By laying on the ball to his fellow players. So his time will come. So no worries. We don't need to change the way we play.
Yeah, all right. So we still have more to talk about. Eddie Guna is still with us, but we have to take one final break here on Sports Talk. So stay with us as we continue our preview of the Reggae Boyz Guatemala game tomorrow at 4. So stay with us.
Say hello to real fruit.
Say hello to no sugar added.
Say hello to delicious.
Say hello to Tropicana.
Naturally sweetened, no artificial coloring.
Now that's something I can get with.
Tropicana, here to make your day brighter. Tropicana, real fruit my way.
Real fruit my way, my way, my way.
Christmas in July is here again, and it's bigger than ever. Join us at the AC Hotel on July 12th and the 13th, starting at 9 a.m. for the Christmas in July Trade Show, hosted by the Minister of Tourism, Honorable Edward Bartlett. Get ready to be amazed by an incredible exhibition of locally made Christmas gifts and souvenirs. For more information, follow us at TEF Jamaica on all social media platforms. Christmas in July is proudly brought to you by the Tourism Enhancement Fund, a public body of the Ministry of Tourism and our amazing partners. Buy Jamaica, build Jamaica. See you there.
Here's an invitation for churches and community organizations. If you're hosting an event which offers free admission, tell us about it and we'll get the word out in Love FM's bulletin board. Simply email your information to bulletinboard@love101.org. Love FM's bulletin board for church and community events with free admission and certain fundraising events. Conditions apply. Listen to Bulletin Board on Love 101 Saturdays at 4:55 p.m. Love FM's bulletin board is on your family station, Love 101.
What are the laws of contracts as it relates to insurance policies and wills? We want to know too. Join us on Family Time, Monday, July 10, as we discuss laws of contracts, insurance, and wills with host O'Neill Campbell and guest Shanette Clark, right here on the family station, Love 101, celebrating 30 years of music, family, and love.
The New Testament Church of God in Jamaica presents its 98th annual convention, Forward Together with Justice and Loving Service. It will be at the National Convention Center, Robinson, Old Harbour, St. Catherine, Friday, July 7 through to Sunday, July 9, with speakers Bishop M. Thomas Probst, Bishop Ishmael Charles, Bishop Conrad Shaw, Pastor Alicia Graham, Bishop Steve Hepburn, Pastor Dante Sibright. Listen on Love 101 or watch on YouTube and Facebook for the live broadcast Sunday, July 9 at 9 a.m. That's the 98th annual convention of the New Testament Church of God in Jamaica, July 7 through to 9. We are moving forward together with justice and loving service. It's beginning to look a lot like I Love Summer is the thing to do this summer. Oh, yes, we're getting ready for stop number 3 and St. Thomas Tag. You're it. The Love 101 family will be at the Rudolph Elder Park in St. Thomas. And as always, enough niceness a keep. So mama, papa, sister, and brother, let's show up for I Love Summer, the St. Thomas edition.
Roll out to their numbers to enjoy all the fun and games. And you might even win a present. Announcers are ready, right, KG and DJ?
More than ready, night, Freddy. St. Thomas, make sure you come out to the game, whether you feel like Hulk or not. Right, DJ?
I am ready again, KG, and St. Thomas, we are bringing all the love in the world for you. So let's make it big for Jehovah.
DJ Rebirth is ready with the mix, and trust me, him have the right fix.
I Love Summer. Are you ready for this? I mean, are you really ready for this?
This Saturday, July 8, 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. at the Rudolph Elder Park with DJ Rebirth keeping the vibes right. I Love Summer. Brought to you by Love 101, celebrating 30 years of music, of family, and love.
Hi, I'm Shelly and Fraser Price, and you're listening to Love FM, the family station.
This is Asafa Powell, one of the fastest men in the world, and you're listening to Love 101, your family station.
Welcome back to Sports Talk here on Love 101. We have around less than 10 minutes to go. We are still here with Eddie Guna previewing the Reggae Boyz game against Guatemala on Sunday in the quarterfinals of the CONCACAF Gold Cup. Before we touch on that, Eddie, in terms of Hallgrimson, after he got that first win against Trinidad and Tobago, he says he wasn't counting in terms of his winless streaks in starting against Argentina last year. He says that it's the competitive matches that count. When you look on, his team selection and how the team has played so far, have you been satisfied with how he's approached games? Do you think that his team management could have been better, or are you still seeing some of the things that we've seen under previous coaches?
I mean, to give him credit, he has done well in the competitive games against Mexico, and the 3 games thus far in the Gold Cup. And I see him growing with this team. It's night and day between the friendly games and these competitive games. And he tends to dwell on the competitive games, which are right, but with the competitive games, he has got his best team with him all the time. And I think that helps him a lot as it relates to getting the results. And we're now seeing that. So kudos to him. In terms of his management style, again, the quality of players differ when he plays friendly internationals compared to competitive games. And I think the more professionals, are able to get across his message easier. And hence we're seeing the better performances with these competitive games, Daniel.
Yeah. So let's talk about that Guatemala game. Guatemala, they finished top of Group D with 7 points, but in the games that I saw, they didn't look all that impressive. No disrespect to Guadeloupe and Cuba, but there were a lot of points where it felt that they were, dragging their feet. Do you think that, even though this is the Reggae Boyz, by the way, do you think that this is an automatic win for the Reggae Boyz, or do you see us being challenged at all, knowing that Guatemala may come out and try and play defensive, that type of thing?
I mean, with all due respect, it should be an easy win for the Reggae Boyz, Daniel. This is the first time Guatemala has actually won their group in the Gold Cup. And, they look to make history by going to the semifinals for the first time as well. But not on our watch, Daniel. Definitely not on our watch. It's a team that has been struggling up and down during their Group D. Played against Canada, got the draw. Didn't look impressive. Barely made it straight through, as I said, against Guatemala. So, making it to the second round is a step up for them. They haven't been this far in, years. So I think this is where it ends for Guatemala. They have a few good players, in the number 9. I like the number 9. He scored 2 goals so far. That's pretty much 50% of Guatemala's goals in this tournament. And one to look out for is Nathaniel Mendez-Leng. He has Jamaican heritage. So, we need to look out for that number 18 as well. But overall, I don't think it's a team with a lot of names, a lot of quality, and hence Jamaica should get the better of them.
Should is the right word. Hopefully we will. And let's go as far as to say they do beat Guatemala, because then we will play, if we win, I think we play on Wednesday, July 12th, either against Mexico or Costa Rica, 2 teams who over the years we've battled with. Just look in your crystal ball. If we do beat Guatemala, do you see us going all the way, despite Mexico and Costa Rica might not, have their full strength squad, but do you think we have enough to go all the way to that final?
Well, no doubt, Daniel, but it all depends on who we meet on Wednesday. Because if we meet Costa Rica, I think we'll have a better chance of making it to the final. But with that said, I'm not too worried about Mexico. I don't think the Jamaica team fears Mexico. We play them well in the Azteca, in the Nation League. And back then, they had a better team. I'm talking about Mexico. So now they're in a little bit of turmoil at this point, and I think we can get the better of Mexico or Costa Rica, but it won't be easy.
It certainly won't be easy at all. Last thing, because you're not just only football, the national championships happened last night, and we saw what Shericka Jackson did, as well as Ron Watson and others. What performance stood out to you yet last night or last evening, and which event are you looking forward to the most this weekend?
I mean, Shericka Jackson, definitely, world lead. That stood out for me tremendously. And I'm still looking forward to the 200 meters. I believe that's on Sunday.
The final, yes.
Tomorrow, yes. So I'm looking for that. I'll be in the National Stadium as well. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
So right after you watch the the quarterfinal,
The Reggae Boyz, I'll be heading to the National Stadium.
I don't wrong you at all. Eddie, thank you so much for joining me, and hopefully we can talk again if the Reggae Boyz make it to the final.
Thank you very much. That's been a pleasure.
All right, that is Eddie Goon of Eddie Vision TV. You can find his channel on YouTube and watch his videos there, or follow him on social media. We have about 2 minutes to go, so reminding you that the Reggae Boyz, they play Guatemala tomorrow at 4:06 p.m., not 4 p.m., but 4:06 p.m. Jamaica time. A very random time to start a game, but that's how it is. The Reggae Boyz looking to make yet another final. They made the final in 2015 and also in 2017, but lost twice. So hopefully, third time's a charm, but we have to get there first. And the National Senior and the Junior Athletics Championships continue this weekend and later this afternoon. We'll be looking forward to seeing Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price open her season, the reigning 100-meter champion in the event. She hasn't competed this season because she struggled with injuries and other personal issues, but it's fantastic. And remember, tickets still are on sale, so don't feel like you have to just watch it on TV or listen on the radio. Go to the J3 site and buy your tickets. Tickets still available. It's not like Champs, where you have to buy it all 10 years in advance. No, you can still go, so don't miss your opportunity to see our athletes live. Last night, everybody who was inside the stadium could say they saw the fifth fastest woman in history, Shericka Jackson, in 10.65, and there was a lot of drama over the last 2 days as well in other events, and there is so much more to come, and we will talk about it again next Saturday. So we are looking forward to that. But that is all the time we have here today on Sports Talk. Thank you to everyone who participated, and to who listened and never participate. Still love you anyways. Reminding you that Sports Talk happens every Saturday afternoon right here on Love FM, the family station. But until next time, please stay safe. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy the summer. Try and keep cool because the heat is excruciating. So get some ice if you don't have no AC like myself. Just get some ice, fling it for yourself, and hopefully you will cool down. But also, as always, please watch some sports.